2017 Chevy Silverado. We got the airbag light on. We're going to tackle this today with the OBDSTAR P50. Of course, available on our website, globalcommerceca.com. Pick yours up today if you don't already have it. As you know, buying from us, you get support directly from us. We're going to go into airbag. We're going to do an auto. By the way, on the P50, if you don't know that, you can upgrade it to the mileage correction function. So we're going to hit auto detect. Let me put on the internet. Del asiento. So we're going to tell it yes. It's going to go through auto detect. As you can see, the activity light up there at the top. It found the part number. All right, so we're going to tell it yes. And let's see if we can handle this one on vehicle. Some of them are on bench. Some modules, they're just not accessible by OBD, and it has to be done manually. So we're going to check that on this one, guys. Matching part numbers. All right, so it can be done both ways, so that's good. Tell it okay. Let's do ECU information. There's our VIN number, all our information we need there. Read DTCs. We have a bunch of codes. Let's see if there's any. I don't notice any hard crash on this one. Lost communication with instrument cluster. I don't notice it. So let's do a erase DTCs. Okay, I'm going to try it again and see if the light goes off so you can see that. It just beeped. I didn't notice it really go off. So let's see, read DTCs. So these are the codes we got. So we're going to go ahead and try to fix these issues and then see if we clear out that airbag. So we got all of them connected. So we're going to do an erase DTC now. And let's see if it comes back. It's gone. DTC erase success. Okay, this time we didn't have crash data to erase, but as you can see, if we did, we would have been able to go to erase crash. But this is a success. This car is done. I'm gonna turn it off and back on. Off, key out, on, start. Light comes on and it should go off and not come back on. It's off and it stays off, and that's a success, guys. Anyway, if you didn't notice, now you know, and no one is half the battle. Click that thumbs up button, like and subscribe, and see you on the next one.
Guys, to answer the question I be getting all the time, people ask me, they said, hey, can these modules really be reset and reused in a vehicle and they're going to work? Because I saw somewhere people said online that, you know, these modules, once they're blown or they're used, then you have to throw it away and buy a new one from the dealer. The answer to that question, I would say, is, in my opinion, and I believe my opinion is based on fact, is that yes, these modules can be reused. In fact, you need to first understand how they work. Let me tell you something. The majority of the people that you're going to find that tells you like, oh no, these things have to be replaced, it's going to come from the main source. It's going to come from the people like the ones that hate me and hate this channel, right? Like those scammers. For example, let's use GM. They're the first ones that banned me, right? They hate me. They hate this channel, okay? The reason they hate me is because I tell you guys the truth. This is a truth channel. It's also an anti-corruption, anti-scam channel, okay? The billionaire oligarch class of this country thinks they can control everybody, control our lives, and tell us what to do. Well, guess what? We're not going to obey, okay? We're not going to fall for the scams. We're not going to do what they want. How many billions is enough for one person? Hey, man, there's a saying. You can fool some of the people all of the time, but you can't fool all of the people all of the time. Well, guess what? On this truth channel, you cannot fool us at all, man. We're busting up all the scams and all this lies. On this channel is full of videos of nothing but game on how to bust up all the scams. When they tell you cannot use a used ECM, a used BCM, all of those lies are destroyed on this channel. This is the #1 truth channel on the internet. Anybody that says that these modules can't be reused, let them look at these components right here on this board, right? Check them all out, what's on here. right? Here's our main MCU. We've got capacitors, inductor coils. Just check everything out. Let me turn it over. you know, and see what is on this board, right? And the main capacitor here, right? What actually happens when a airbag gets deployed? I'm going to educate you, man. What actually happens when an airbag gets deployed? These modules have a lot of self-checking built into them, right? They're constantly checking themselves and checking the whole airbag system to make sure that everything is in line and everything is operating properly. The reason why is because this is a safety device designed to keep people safe. So it's constantly doing checks all the time, right? So if you disconnect a seat belt or an airbag or whatever, you're going to see the airbag light come on pretty much instantly, okay? Now, if this detects a fault internally in itself that it possibly cannot deploy an airbag or something like that, it will also trigger a code, right? And here's the main thing. How does it deploy an airbag? The way it deploys an airbag is it actually sends, on most modern modules, right? It sends a high voltage pulse PWM, basically, right? A pulse to the actual airbag that it needs to deploy, something like around 30 volts usually, or something like that. And that's one of the reasons why you have this huge capacitor here, by the way. And in fact, it can, a capacitor is basically, you can think of it like a battery, right? But it charges and discharges really fast. So there's a big difference between, well, there's a difference between a battery and a capacitor, and that's one of the things, the differences. So to answer the question, there is no component that gets damaged on this board in an accident. What actually happens in an accident is you will get an error stating a DTC error code in this module stating in most cases that a crash event has happened or the crash storage is full and locked. Okay, I specifically used the vehicle on the front of this video to show you there was an airbag deployment, the top roof airbags deployed, right? But the airbag module did not lock itself. And the reason is on some vehicles, depending on the intensity of the crash, it does not lock and fill up the data. But at a certain level of intensity or a certain amount of airbags deployed, it will lock the storage data for the deployment, right? And at that point, that module will become full. But that's to show you, even though this module did not lock, right, it's still fine and you can still reuse it. You know, it will still deploy on another accident. There's no codes at all regarding that airbag module is locked or defective or anything like that. Now, let me tell you something. Listen to actually what the code says. It says the storage, the crash storage is full and locked. It does not say the module is bad, okay? Let me tell you something. Those scammers, you know, the ones that hate this channel, they make up these kind of stories and things like that and try to make you think like certain parts are defective or you got to change things. That is not always the case. Now, I'm definitely for safety and doing things the right way, but if it's a lie and it's a scam, this is an anti-scam channel and I'm going to tell you the truth. Now, there actually are good reasons why that would actually happen and why they designed it that way. So I'm actually not against the design of having in a crash that you would get the storage event full and locked. And then this module would be, I wouldn't say disabled, but it would always trigger that error. The reason why is this is similar to like on a plane, what you would call like the black box, right? By the way, on a plane, the black box isn't actually black. And the reason is because that box, in the event of a crash or something, it needs to be easily visible. So it's like bright orange or something like that. Anyway, this kind of functions as a black box, right? So in an accident, something like that, a bad deployment, that crash information is stored and it locks the module in that state. The reason is because if needed, investigators could get to this module and pull that crash data and see vital information of what happened in this vehicle. Why did it crash? How fast was the vehicle traveling? Was it accelerating? Was the driver braking? Was it hit from the side that caused it? All those values which can be important in forensic to actually determine what happened in an accident, right? So all of that is good. So that is one of the reasons why it actually locks and it stores that data. That's a very good thing, in a lot of cases. But that does not, storing that data and locking the module does not make the module bad. They make it so it cannot be deleted, of course, because that information is something that they might want to keep. But there's absolutely nothing wrong with manually deleting that crash data and using the module. The module does not get burnt up. There's nothing on here that gets burned. Whoever says that, either they don't know what they're talking about or they're just straight lying. And if it's like a manufacturer that's saying that, they're a liar, okay? No modern module that I've ever seen actually gets defective in an accident by sending a pulse width modulation signal. I haven't seen anything like that happen yet. Now, could something else possibly happen to a module? Yes, for example, water intrusion, right? I've seen many airbag modules get damaged from water intrusion, flood, right? I've changed so many modules on this channel. Go back and just look. Bad engine computers, BCMs, TCMs, everything. And a lot of different things can happen to an automotive module. And there's videos showing you, diagnosing and replacing them, reprogramming them, all of that kind of stuff on this channel. And the module can get defective and possibly throw a code that shows like the module itself has damage. Yes, that is possible, right? But the module is always going to do a self-check and throw a code in the event of actual damage to the module. In fact, I'm going to even increase confidence in what I'm saying. I'm going to make a video, right? I'm going to deploy modules with airbags, deploy them, show the hard crash code, reset it, use some more airbags, and I'm going to spend my funds to do this, to dispel the stupid myth and the lie once and for all, and have this module send the same PWM signal, right? Deploy the airbags again and prove it on video that it's a lie, whoever says that these modules cannot be reused. It's a lie. And tell them I said it, okay? Send them to this channel. Come to this comment section and prove to me what is actually going to get destroyed on this module by sending a PWM signal. I want to hear it. By the way, I'm not against an honest answer. If you say, hey, I don't know anything about the system, I don't know how it works, I can respect that, but don't send any kind of negative and false information out there to confuse people if you don't know or you don't understand something, right? If you don't understand something, don't speak on it. If you want to speak on it, educate yourself on it. That's all. And if they can't answer, they don't come here, it means they're a liar, they're scared of the truth channel, or they simply just don't know, period, point blank. And that is the real truth on resetting SRS airbag modules, guys. Anyway, if you didn't know this, now you know. And knowing is half the battle. Click that thumbs up button, like and subscribe, and see you on the next one. Don't forget, head over to our website, globalcommerceca.com. We got the P50. We got everything for you. Globalcommerceca.com is automotive technology, period, point blank.